Hello, everybody out there again. Welcome back to us, and it's Joe and Mark's eXp chat. So it's hello from me.
And hello from him.
Oh, that's it. So
who was that? Was it a couple of comedians did that?
Yeah, it was two Ronnies.
Oh, there you go. Yeah.
It was it.
I was going to call you Marky Mark. Marky Mark and the Brady Bunch. Is that right?
Well, we've been man flu. Man flu's going round. Apparently, only men are getting it on this particular occasion.
It's awful.
Yeah, so I've got it now, which is why my voice is even huskier than ever. And my wife said I sound even more like Alan Sugar than I've ever done before. So maybe I'll get his money and I can be a lookalike. So how's things going, Joe? How's the week been?
Good. It's quieting down a little bit, but it's still enough to get the teeth into. Got the background on this week because the Christmas tree is there, and there's presents there, there's washing there. So we're not the best backdrop this week. So I've gone for my I don't even know what city that is. I won't try and claim it somewhere I don't know.
I don't know where it is, but it looks very much like the flat, one of the penthouse flats that I just sold in Casio Metro.
Oh, nice. You just sold a penthouse flat. Nice, get that in there.
Yeah, little plug, everything.
Well, here again, we had a bit of an intro sort of to us and the eXp last week, didn't we? Just to give people the basics of it, and then I thought each week we can ask each other a few questions, see how we're getting on, see some of the things that have happened, model a bit more. I wanted to throw at you straight away like highlights. You know, what have been the good things about being self-employed under the eXp model for you?
I think really with me, it's been it's this year, this journey has all been about building my confidence. And you know, one of the things that I was not shying away from, I had to sort of like face my fears, I suppose that's what you say, which was the fact of you find yourself up against agents that have been, you know, established for decades in your town. You know, we've got some great agents in Watford that have been around for donkey's years, and all of a sudden you're going in and you're doing valuations against them and you're the winner, and it's not based on fees at all. It just seems to be based on me and on you in that case. And so that's been a massive highlight for me because I come out of there thinking I won it. I won the instruction. And it's not like when you're in an office, you can go around and ring a bell or whatever. You know, I'm celebrating it with my wife and I'm saying, I've done it. And she's like, of course you did it, Mark, because it's you. Oh, you've actually got...
You can still ring a bell at home, you know.
Why is it? It's a very quiet bell. Yeah, so that's been, I think that's been a highlight. And I think it's something that people sort of feel when they come into this model is that, you know, how am I going to compete with these big brands? And that's exactly why you can compete with them, because you're not a big brand. I think if I opened up a estate agents in a high street and had a few negotiators work for me, then I would really be in competition with these people. But it's completely different.
There's definitely a myth to shatter, isn't there, that people on the street might think, oh, you've got to go with that big well-known company that's been there for ages because they've got the database and they've got the exposure. And to us, we've proved it matters not one little bit. And actually, there's a flip side of it, that the attention, the care, the proactivity, the hunger, the enthusiasm, a lot of words there, outweighs that. And I have as well, and you have. I think you've done a hell of a lot of scenarios where you've taken stuff on, been on for 6 months, been on for 3 months, been on for 2 months, and sold it in a week, in 2 weeks, in a month. And that's got to be down to you. It's got to be something about you or me or that other agent that's done something different there, or has it been luck? I don't know.
I can't put my finger on it because you think that it is about. You don't want to think it's you because buyers will come from the advert. Buyers will come for the property. They won't come for you. But I have been doing exactly that. Properties that have been on the market, you know, the first sort of few properties I took on had been on the market with agents for months and months. And I was thinking, all right, well, I need to take them on because I need to build up my stock, my instruction base. And yeah, I'd sell them straight away. And it's like, well, why have I sold them? And really funny, actually, I won't mention names, obviously, but the first property that I sold was on with another agent in Watford. And as soon as I put it live, a woman called me and she said, I wanted this property, but I would never go I'd never go and see it through the agent because I'd fallen out with that agent about something else. So it was actually, talk about cutting off your nose to spite your face. She was waiting for it to come on with another agent. And she came in and she saw it and she bought it with me. That was it.
Yeah, I've fallen victim of one of the assumptions, and one of probably the mistakes I've made. It's all about admitting when you make mistakes. I haven't focused on that stuff as much. I was very much wanting the fresh stuff, new stuff. I don't want that stuff because that's not going to sell. Obviously, they haven't been able to sell it. But actually, when I have got a couple of bits and turned it around, it's made me realise, well, hold on a minute. We call it low-hanging fruit in the industry, don't we?
Yeah.
A lot of estate agents have done such a terrible job in the first place, or got it so wrong that you're on a winner. 9 times out of 10, the minute you walk in the door, you're going to do better than them. And so, yeah, I'm going to focus a little bit more on that with stock on the market, and try and get a few things going through that to keep that pipeline going, as opposed to being selfish and just focusing on, I just want the good stuff, the new stuff, the stuff that's going to go. That's the easy way to look at it, isn't it? So
it is. I mean, I can elaborate more on this, but before I do that, maybe we'll leave that to another session, because there's a lot that I've learned about things like that. How about you? What are some of your highlights?
There's a couple that definitely stick out. Sorry to get to money, but it's important. People need to know out there that we're doing this to earn money as well. We're not just people that love to sort of give a great service. We want to get paid for doing it at the end of it. So big highlight for me was getting one individual fee, which is £11,700.
Yeah.
And I remember just being so emotional after that, and turning around to family and wife and going, wow, I just got paid that to sell a house. And that would have been maybe 300 quid commission in my old job. In some years, that might have taken a year to get that in commission across the whole year's activity. So getting that off of one fee was amazing. Selling properties in numerous locations. I've counted them up at 14 different towns or villages. I think when I first got into this, again, assumption was I was just going to be Mr. Watford or Mr. Ricky or Mr. Bushy, where I've kind of worked. I've gone all over the place, and the models allow me to do that because there's no restrictions, no territories, no areas. 14 different towns and villages. That's wowed me. And another thing is a bit of a fluffy one, but the network, the support, being able to tap into so many people. I've got mates in Morecambe now, mates in Margate. I've even got friends in Luton. Who'd have thought that? It was just down the road, but now I've got a mate in Luton because of this model, and other agents that I kind of talk to, keep in touch with, and learn off. So the network, the money, and the ability to move around so many different localities are three real sort of highlights for me.
Do you know what? I'm going to just say something, come back onto that money thing, okay, that 11 grand fee, all right? It's when people think about joining eXp or be self-employed, they're obviously very conscious of thinking, well, when am I going to start earning it? Or I can't afford to do it. I can't afford not to earn any money. Admittedly, you've got to get through that period from start to your first exchange. But my very first completion was a 6 grand fee, okay, my very first one. So, okay, I didn't earn any money for a few months. But the fact is that 11 grand, okay, you haven't got a basic, but that's 3, maybe 4 months worth of salary. So you start doing them topped up by a few 5s and 6s and 7s and 3s, because there's really no 2s, not where we are. You're getting months and months and months ahead. And I used to think to myself, the worst case scenario, even if I didn't do another deal, I've still got enough on this deal to keep me running for 3-4 months. But you do the deals. You do keep plugging it up, and it builds and it builds and it builds. I mean, my pipeline at the moment is incredible, absolutely incredible. It's the size of a decent high street office, and that's just me personally. So, I totally get it. You've got to be brave. Because that's it.
Yeah, absolutely. And coming up in 2022, I've got a massive goal based on a property that I'm going to be putting on the market that I'm hopefully going to sell and then get a fee that is 2.5 times that. So that would be my new record. And you don't look at those lightly. So that's something I'm really looking forward to. But as I said, the bits and pieces, the second agent stuff, it's really important as a new self-employed agent to focus on that as well, to get themselves some grounding and get them some properties under offer. don't just look at those big flash ones. It's nice too, but a little bit of a mix, I think, in the things you're going to take on, area wise and fee wise, is good. Other people do focus on certain areas, but I would encourage any new one just to kind of get involved in all areas of the market. That'd be my advice anyway.
Yeah, that's what I did exactly the same. I was everywhere, absolutely everywhere, all over. It helped because it was during the first lockdown when I started. So there wasn't much traffic on the road. But now I sort of limit myself to a half hour, 40 minutes maximum to drive. Unless again, it's a great fee. So there you go. So before we wind up, let's do a bit of a shout out about our eXp Christmas party today, whenever this goes out. It's on Thursday anyway.
Yeah, I think everyone is massively excited, aren't they? And it's linked to that networking thing. It's an opportunity. It's not just a piss up. It's an opportunity to learn, be inspired by others, tap into what's going well for people, what's not going well for people. We're going to be chatting to another 150 odd agents that are all going to Sheraton Grand tomorrow in London.
Park Lane, yeah.
In Park Lane, really swish affair. There's going to be awards, a ceremony, obviously a bit of drinking, a bit of dancing as well, to celebrate everyone's successes in the whole network. And that, when we haven't got offices and staff and we haven't got Christmas parties, and that's something that we're all really, really excited about and being part of, isn't it?
Yeah, very much. We're just looking forward to meeting everybody, because we all meet in the virtual world every Friday. In our Verbella world, we are avatars of ourselves.
And you do genuinely learn something most Friday mornings, or pick up something that you want to take from it, don't you?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I just signed up to Paul to do my social media marketing. Thanks for the for the recommendation on that. So I had a meeting with him this morning. So these are all experts that are doing stuff to help and build our business.
Biggest change to you, in a nutshell, literally your one-liner or two-liner, biggest change to you by doing this? Or was that too much pressure? I've just thrown that on you.
Not too much pressure. No, just because you know what I'm like. I find it very difficult to do a one-liner because I don't shut up normally. I think it's just instead of saying a full body massage, a full life improvement. Everything is just a complete uplift of my whole standard of living, quality of living, lifestyle. And that's it.
I didn't know what you were going to say, but it's linked to that in a way that I just feel like 2 years that I've done this compared to the previous sort of 13. There's nothing wrong with the previous 13, where I was and who I was working with and what I was doing. But the 2 years that I've done this, I'm now a better estate agent. I'm a more knowledgeable estate agent. The blinkers have come off. I've opened my eyes, I've opened my mind to so much more in 2 years than I did in 13 years. And that's the thing that resonates with me. Yeah, absolutely. That's a good, I mean, I had some great feedback on you yesterday. One of my vendors, a couple of my vendors, vendors to be, so they hadn't even signed the contract, and Joe's such a good man, he didn't try to steal them. They went out and to see a property with you. And the funny thing was, what she said to me on the phone, she said, "Oh, I spoke to Joe about organising the property, and he says that you're in a band together." I was like, yeah. I said, "You wait till you hear how good his voice is. We've got to do that at some point on here." Although it'll be a bit silly with voice and bass. But there you go. And it's just so nice to be able to do things like that. Really nice to have that camaraderie. And it really encourages us as eXp agents to like other estate agents, to actually really like them and be happy to work with them and be open to work with them. I would be more than happy to split fees and to do stuff with other agents if they've got buyers for my property and things like that. It's just about finding the right ones that would do that. I told them you were rubbish, by the way. But they said they sort of felt drawn to you because they like cats and you like cats. So they just, that's what got you the gig, basically. So no, absolutely. And also he's got the most amazing head of hair. So he didn't feel threatened by me. Yep. Yeah. So, all right, then. Well, let's leave this for this week. This is our chat, our weekly chat, and we're going to keep doing it.
until you all keep watching it. There's a cat.
If we're sober next week, yeah, we'll see
Oh
you
yeah,
then.
we should. Yeah, by next week. All right then. Take care.
See you later. Bye.